UC News. I'm Molly Paz.
And I'm Anna Lamiju. Here are today's headlines. First, many students are ready to graduate this semester, but where? It's not on campus. We'll tell you why.
Then, what landmark on campus made national news for its looks?
Those stories and more starting now on UC News.
For more than 90 years, the corner of Calhoun Street and Clifton Avenue has been home to the University of Cincinnati's College of Law, but all that could change. UC Board of Trustees will vote October 24th whether to move the College of Law into Carl H. Linder Hall, the school's business school. Workers are in the middle of a $40 million renovation of Linder Hall. Polls rank UC as one of the top 50 public law schools in the nation. The Board of Trustees hopes more students will enroll in the law school if it's in a better facility.
Another construction project is in the works to help students. An Indiana developer is helping tackle the housing shortage that forced some students this fall to live in hotels instead of dorms. Trentos developers will convert the old Deaconess Hospital on Clifton Avenue into more than 350 apartments. The new project will be able to house more than 1,000 students. The building will eventually have space for restaurants, a hotel, stories, and more by August 2019.
Students are upset this fall over a new printing plan the university rolled out before the semester began. The university switched its printing services from UniPrint to a new service called WEPA. The university says the new system will help students save money. Many students say instead it's actually costing them more. Electrical engineering senior Huey Tran works at Langston Library's IT help desk and says the new system is frustrating students.
It's confusing to some people because they don't know that they have to log in before they have to print it. As an engineering student, we have a 600-page free print, but it is not applied with the WEPA printer. We have to go to the engineering lab in order to have 600 free pages.
There is an upside. Some students see a benefit to printing from virtually anywhere, including personal laptops, phones, tablets, cloud services, and USB devices.
Another big decision the university had to make: where will graduates take their walk next month while Fifth Third Arena is under construction? Turns out students won't be graduating on campus this semester. Instead, they'll have to travel to another university to get their diplomas. Sarah Sikora spoke with one student who isn't too happy about the change.
Graduation is right around the corner for students at the University of Cincinnati, with one big change that's causing some controversy.
The construction of Fifth Third Arena is changing where that ceremony will take place. Students will have to come right here to Northern Kentucky University instead.
We tried to look for a venue that we can fit a good number of our students, as well as the many guests that they enjoy bringing to the commencement celebration.
Assistant Vice President of Student Affairs Nicole Mayo says the decision wasn't easy. The school considered the Cintas Center and US Bank Arena, but they were both booked. The decision to move off campus isn't sitting well with some students. Nicole Schneider says NKU isn't where she saw herself finishing her academic career.
So I'm a little sad that I won't be graduating from the place I've spent the last 4 years.
Schneider would rather keep graduation on campus. She says one option would be Shickley Field in the bubble.
Wouldn't be the same as having everybody there, but if we could at least have kept it on campus, I think I would have preferred that.
But in the end, Schneider will be glad to share the day with her family, no matter where. Sarah Sikora, Bearcast Media.
Now, Anne, you're graduating this semester, aren't you?
I am, and I'm excited, but I'm not excited about going to NKU. But
Yeah, at least you'll get your diploma.
Yes, get out of here, yes.
With the end of the semester right around the corner, so are the holidays, but everyone's favorite holiday to pick out isn't always about the food. For some people, it's about a race. Eric Backey's in the studio with more information.
Thanks so much, Molly. After all that Halloween candy, I know I'm 22 years old and addicted to Milk Duds. You can earn yourself a Thanksgiving meal by running the Thanksgiving Day race. This annual race will be a 10K. You can run or walk it. Past participants say it's a great challenge, it's good exercise, and it's motivation to get healthy and to stay healthy for the coming year. The race will start at Rosa Parks Avenue through downtown Cincinnati to Newport, then Covington, and back to Cincinnati to finish the 6-mile loop. You can find training tips and register for the race at ThanksgivingDayRace.com. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Eric. Lots of excitement on campus for FC Cincinnati and a big year. Josh will have that and the rest of the day's sports when we come back.
Welcome back to UC News. Now, FC Cincinnati is the talk of the town, and I'm a huge fan now. So, have you seen a game this?
I have, and they are so exciting. They're more fun than football games and basketball
and
games.
cheaper.
To me. Yeah, and cheaper. A lot cheaper. Josh, tell us about the playoffs.
Yeah, it's crazy the success they've had the past 2 years while also sticking to the city playoff tradition of one and done. FC Cincinnati made the USL playoffs last year in their very first season and barely managed to repeat this year after a rough last week in regular season USL play. But just like last year, the young soccer club went one and done in the USL Cup playoffs, losing 3-0 on the road to the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And with the loss, the club's second season came to an end, but not before more history was made. FCC made an improbable and historic run to the semifinals of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup and broke their own attendance record for a regular season game. Now they wait. A decision on who the two expansion teams will be is expected from Major League Soccer in December. Oh, Cincinnati magic name, the Bearcats got to sing the alma mater loud and proud in Miami this year as they took home the victory bell for the 12th straight year in dramatic fashion. Junior Malik Clements returned an interception 14 yards for a touchdown with only a minute left to play to give the Bearcats a 21-17 lead. A close win in a game dating back to 1888, and now the rivalry has been renewed with a twist. The Bearcats and the Redhawks extended the Victory Bell series through 2029, but Paul Brown Stadium will now play host to the vintage rivalry game every 4 years, and many believe this will give the Bearcats an advantage. Next year's game will be the first of the Paul Brown games on September 8th. On to the basketball Bearcats, and they have begun their season at NKU Arena. The arena pretty full for the first game. The Bearcats dominated early, a top 15 preseason team in the country for the first time in a decade, and the Bearcats hope to prove that they deserve that ranking. Gary Clark out there dominating on guys, and you know I've heard some people say that he is a problem. Looks like he and all the Bearcats were a problem for Alabama A&M. Mick Cronin, though, always going to look for what needs fixed, and the team needs to work on their defense and their chemistry. While you guys were enjoying watching the Bearcats play at NKU, we got a behind-the-scenes tour of Fifth Third Arena, or at least what was kind of Fifth Third Arena. Some things prettier than others, and as you can see, there is only a hard hat zone, and don't worry, I wore mine. Fifth Third's still a long way to go, but a lot better looking than 2 months ago. UC just about a week ago announced a home-and-home against the Buckeyes, and they will be the first game in the very new, brand new Fifth Third Arena. You know Chris Holtmann, now the new head coach of the Buckeyes, he says he's hoping, and I say hoping, that the state of Ohio can do a little tournament where Dayton, UC, Xavier, and OSU play. Have to wonder what would happen to the crosstown shootout then. And that major NCAA scandal that has rocked college basketball, yeah, that one that got Louisville's Rick Pitino fired, that scandal has some ties to not just the Bearcats, but the Muskies of Xavier as well. No, Chris Mack isn't getting fired. No, Mick Cronin isn't getting fired. Neither coach was involved in the NCAA fraud and corruption scheme, but both are favorites to replace Louisville's Rick Pitino, who was fired for being involved in the scandal. Cronin was an assistant to Pitino before he became the head coach at Cincy, and who better to replace Pitino than a former assistant having big success as a head coach? Chris Mack of Xavier is also a favorite, and even though his Northern Kentucky house is up for sale, he says he's staying in Cincinnati. Louisville named David Padgett interim head coach shortly after Pitino was fired.
Wow. So I know that scandal rocked Louisville, and I'm glad none of that's here at UC.
Crazy.
Yeah, we can't have any of that here.
Yeah.
Good program here at UC.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Josh. When we come back, we'll take a look at the epidemic gripping the city and our college. With Veterans Day just around the corner, did you know there are more than 2,000 student vets on campus? Freshman nursing student Evan Terry served in the U.S. Army for 9 years. He deployed to Afghanistan twice as a medic. Terry's GI Bill benefits pay for his tuition, books, and he gets a monthly housing allowance. That all sounds great, but Terry says he still wasn't prepared for the finances of being a student.
I think a lot of soldiers assume that it's going to cover everything that their regular paycheck in the military did, and that's just not true. So I do work part-time, and that helps, but I also live within my means.
Terry says his transition has been smooth with the support of his family.
Junior year of college are looking for jobs and getting ready to graduate, but about 100 women here at UC are dealing with something else, something that will shape their college experience and their lives forever. Catherine Thonwin has the story.
I do remember walking home on my own and not knowing where I was, and not having any idea what happened. I remember being in pain but not really knowing why. I remember just wanting to go back to sleep.
It all started as a fun night with friends during welcome weekend 2 years ago. University of Cincinnati junior Jennifer Shoei says that she doesn't remember it all because at some point she blacked out. Her friends say that a man repeatedly asked her to walk her home, but instead took her to his place and had sex with her while she was unconscious.
I don't even recognize the person that I was anymore. It kind of just killed every single good thing about me, every single good thing that I've ever felt.
Jennifer is not alone. UC statistics show almost 100 reports of sexual assault and harassment on campus the year of her attack. Those crimes include forcible sex offenses, domestic violence, dating violence, and stalking, more than 70 of them on campus and in residential halls. Jennifer took the brave step of reporting her assault, but she was met with difficulties at every turn.
But I did feel some sort of interest in going forward with the university process because there was something in me that said that he should not be on campus.
The Title IX offices on campus help students like Jennifer. The university also provides professional counseling, known as CAPS, to students at no extra cost. In Jennifer's case, how the university handled her report ended up in court. Both she and her rapist sued UC. Instead of the 60 days it was supposed to take to get through the process, it took 8 months.
I didn't feel safe. I wasn't paying attention to what the professors were talking about. I was paying attention to what the heck just happened to me. I need the UC administration to genuinely want to help survivors and not just want a better image in the public eye.
Jennifer says she hopes the university learns from what happened to her so that they can handle the next time better. Catherine Thonwin, UC News.
The price to park your car at meters in Cincinnati is going up. The city has increased parking rates in 15 neighborhoods, one of them right here in Clifton. The price went up from 50 cents an hour to 75 cents an hour. It's a cost UC student Daly Scott says will affect where she parks for class.
At this point, I think I just park at the garage that's right next to my building instead of parking at a meter and then having to walk. It's going to be about the same price, so might as well just pay for the convenience.
The meter increases are part of the city's solution to fix budget problems.
One big budget concern in the city is how to help to the growing number of heroin addicts. Ann Alamiju takes a closer look into one man's struggles with heroin and how he now brings hope to others.
So I grew up in a drug culture.
Cody Jones never thought he would become a heroin addict.
I started using drugs when I was like 12.
Like many other heroin addicts, Jones started off with prescription drugs. Then he moved to heroin.
I got addicted to pain pills first when I was 18, and then eventually the supply runs out or it becomes too expensive and then someone's like, hey, you can do this and it's cheaper and it gets you way higher.
Jones tried to stop. He went in and out of rehab, but it never stuck. Then a Hope Over Heroin rally in 2014 changed his life.
Really, I was just desperate for anything. I tried everything, so I knew, man, something has to shake for me. So I was willing to do whatever it took.
Cody says the rally taught him to fight addiction with prayer and faith. He wants young people to know help is out there.
There's hope for UC students dealing with heroin. They can walk into the Wellness Center and be directed to many resources the campus has to offer.
Sarah Blanton is the program coordinator here at the Wellness Center.
If they come to us and they disclose that, we would refer them to resources like UHS, University Health Services, or CAPS, the Counseling and Psychological Services, to get them the resources that they need.
Blanton says students who overdose on campus don't get in trouble.
school. The university offers them amnesty.
If a student is under the influence of a substance, if they call for help or if someone calls for help for them and they stay with them, they will not face any legal troubles.
Jones is clean now and works as a house manager for the Heritage House, a men's rehab center just 5 miles from campus. He helps addicts rebuild their character.
When you walk on a college campus, you look at everyone and everyone looks like their life is okay. I know deep in my heart is that everyone that walks these streets is dealing with something.
But he knows whatever the issue, someone is here to help. Ann Olamiju, Bearcast News.
Wow, that is such an inspiring story. That's amazing that you got to talk to him.
Yeah, I got to talk to Jody, and he was just inspirational. He really was, and what he's been through and how he wants to help others. It's really great. So
it's amazing.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to UC News. A community-owned grocery store sounds like a great idea, but is it a business model that can work? Eric Backey tells us more.
Well, I mean, I really like it.
Kelsey Kaiser is a senior at the University of Cincinnati and an occasional shopper at Clifton Market. She likes the fresh produce and thinks the store is cute.
I really like the quality and the products and stuff. I like the atmosphere, but the one thing is it's kind of overpriced, so that's kind of a bummer.
When Kelsey shops, the store is quiet, the lines are short, and customer help is easy to find. But this isn't a good thing for the store. Business is hurting. The community-owned store is bringing in only half the money owners expected each week. They're running out of money. Now, we tried to set up an interview with the store manager for more than 2 weeks, but they unfortunately never showed up. But in other media, manager Keith Brock has said that he's still optimistic things will turn around. But he's fighting Cincinnati grocery juggernaut Kroger, which just opened up a new store nearby. Students like Kelsey find Kroger to be just as convenient and less expensive.
Like I said, I think the prices are a little too high for college students. I think the only reason that college students shopped here before was because Kroger wasn't open yet.
All this has the Clifton Market Board of Directors up in arms. They're meeting and trying to plan a way to keep shoppers like Kelsey coming back here instead of down the road at Kroger. Eric Backey, Bearcast News.
And an early October weekend in Cincinnati wouldn't be complete without a little celebration. Ludlow Avenue has turned into a lively arts district all weekend long for Clifton Fest. For a neighborhood already defined by art, one look at Clifton this weekend could seem ordinary, but a closer look and it becomes clearer. The sidewalk chalk art and jazz music could only mean Clifton Fest. Years ago, the trendy gathering was just for the neighborhood of Clifton and outside guests weren't welcome, but the event became so popular, organizers opened it up to everyone. Amy Hoptry has been a vendor at the festival more than once and marks her calendar every year to make an appearance.
Anytime you have a community event like this where it's going to draw people in that live locally, it just gives you more of a feeling of community and community pride.
If art isn't your thing, Clifton Fest also offers plenty when it comes to food like chips and salsa and building your own bullet bridges. Ludlow Avenue closes all weekend for the festival.
The University of Cincinnati's College Conservatory of Music is celebrating its 150th season this year. It's all happening here at CCM's Mary Emery Hall. The celebration continues into the spring with 8 performances like Hamlet and Jesus Christ Superstar. You can find more information on CCM's college website. You can also catch guest artists, off-campus concerts, and an alumni showcase.
All right, and finally tonight, we've all heard that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but one design magazine says a building here at UC is a flat-out ugly. Crosley Tower topped Architectural Digest's list of ugliest university buildings. The magazine even went as far as saying the 16-story building looks like a Disney villain's lair. The university built Crosley Tower in 1969 as a concrete beacon to a UC alumnus who owned Crosley Radio Company. Wow, that ugliest building. How embarrassing is that?
There has to be other university buildings that are uglier than Crosley, you know? It's just, but
I don't
hey,
think it's that bad.
It's not that bad. Thanks for watching. I'm Ann Olamiju.
And I'm Molly Paz. Have a great day, Bearcats.
Yes.